Excuse me.
I'm not giving to LeBron because I don't like LeBron.
I like him already.
On the stat sheet, so like taking charges, like that's my favorite thing. I like a charge in my mixtape. My friend texts me, he's like, I never seen someone put a charge in the mixtape. I'm like, defense wins games. Like,
so there was a constant battle about Dunkin' Donuts versus Tim Hortons, and it was it's never ending.
I got up, I fixed my helmet, I look, and I just see Herb take off. Like he just, I just see the hair flowing. Like now, going running, and yeah, you got to see Herb when he runs. His eyes are always like, so I just knew, like I knew he was running. So
he's your life. Like, go out there, defend, go out there, rebound, like, give your heart, like, sacrifice. You can get a scholarship just for defense. You know what I'm saying? But,
man, this guy's unstoppable when it comes to basketball as well. But yeah, definitely one-on-one, he got me.
Fried rice, you can't be eating fried rice all the time. But
you'd be switching your sports. You'd be going from basketball to sumo.
I know. I already got the bun, you see?
Now, the spider tech basically is just like completely just crazy, like should not be allowed. Rosin and sunscreen and everything, that's been around forever and it's never been a true problem. But right now, like the big thing is spin rates are up.
It's our defense because Mace, you're gonna get 285, 280 hit you, and you gotta, and I'm only 240, so I got to bring my technique. And then KT's just a freak athlete in itself, so you gotta bring your hard hat and your lunch pail every day.
Can I just say this? Man, I just love your competitive nature, bro. Like, I feel like I'm ready to strap on the jersey right now, man. I'm only 5'5", so I don't know what I can do.
I'm gonna say Diana, man. I don't know what it is. She just always seems to come up clutch all the time, 24/7.
When they say, listen, you know how as coaches you get mad at the guy just standing in the corner and watching another guy cook. I can't be like that because I was watching you cook.
Running, it's like if you take a day off, like you'll feel it, and if you take 4 months off, you're really gonna feel it.
It was impeccable. So watching certain highlights, I'm like, yo, I gotta try it. And trust me, not everything was as good as it looked now. Because no look passes I threw off of somebody's face.
What is going on? Max Kellerman here.
This is how I feel about the NFL season so far.
Yeah, so far.
Oh my gosh.
It's only we're halfway through the season and this is just getting completely crazy at this point. Hey, for everybody tuning in, please like, subscribe, comment, do all that bull crap. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the veterans for today's Veterans Day. Thank all veterans, past, present, and future. Thank you for your service, men and women. Anyways, what is going on? This weekend was just a bloodbath, absolute bloodbath.
Man, surprises from the college level, surprises from the NFL. I'm just excited, man. Excited to talk about these games that happened this past weekend, the breaking news that's happened in the past few hours just today.
Nonstop.
Oh my gosh. I think I said it a few weeks ago. I said the NFL is starting to become like the NBA, where it's like every week, and players, they're really controlling the narrative in the NFL and where they want to be. And we can get into it, because it's exciting. I have a hot take with the yes.
With Cam Newton.
No. You already know how I feel about that. But the Odell,
you got a job back.
Odell situation. I have a little hot take with that. So, but we can talk about that.
He should have been signing over here.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. I'm kind of interested to know what your hot take is. You want to hold off?
Let's hold off to that.
All right. I think we're having Facebook issues again. What else is new? I think we're getting zucked. We're getting completely Zuckerberged.
Come on, Facebook.
Yeah, whatever. We're about to drop them anyways. Who needs Facebook?
Right.
Not me. Yeah, so let's just dive into that Thursday night game. Mike Smith.
Yeah.
Mike White. I'm sorry, Mike
White.
Regardless, he's irrelevant at this point.
Right.
Got injured. Of course, like I said, had him on my fantasy team. Picked him up because I thought he would be good. Of course, he gave me 6 points. Colts ended up winning that game. No, it's not surprising. It's really
not surprising. No.
Going into Sunday, Falcons destroyed the Saints. Well, I wouldn't really call it destroying. The Broncos controlled that Cowboys game from start to finish.
Gosh.
Start to finish.
With the defense.
What's up with the Cowboys?
Listen, I feel like the Cowboys, man, they're starting to realize who they are. They had a hot start of the season, but like I've always felt about the Cowboys. I know they're gonna surprise teams. They're gonna surprise the Cowboy Nation, but eventually towards the end, when the season's winding down, and playoffs hits, they start to really shake a little bit. And with this Broncos game that they had, they should have won this game just off of their talent. But the Broncos, man, they've been having a good season. They with their play all season. Teddy Bridgewater has surprised everybody. They lost Von Miller, so I was really curious to see how they would react to that. But so far so good with this Broncos team. For me personally, if the Broncos play, I'm not sure if they play the Patriots this season, but if they ever came and played us, I would be really be a little nervous about that game just because the Broncos play hard.
They'd be nervous about the Patriots playing anybody. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. So the Cowboys, man, they're gonna win their division, but I don't see them doing anything in the playoffs. Because as we see, the NFC is booming. It's booming right now. And I don't see the Cowboys. I'm even worried about your guy Brady, man. I don't know. The Bucs has been a little quiet lately. I know they had a bye.
I think it's because the whole entire Tom Brady, ESPN Plus, the man in the stadium, whatever the hell it's called, the pendulum and the swinging. I don't know. Tom Brady's doing his typical piss on everybody parade. And, I don't know. I just see him on Hertz commercials all the time.
I saw that last
charging his Tesla battery. Like, come on, dude.
He's like, I still got it. Like, come on, man.
No, I mean the Bucs. They just like I keep repeating. They had a bye week last week. I think that's what they needed in order to kind of recollect themselves. Hopefully, Gronk is back for Sunday. Hopefully, they get some of their key players back and some of their key defensive players because their defense is falling off from being ranked almost number one defense coming into this season to now it's questionable where they are. They're hit or miss. Yes, they lost to the Saints. They lost to who else did they lose to?
They lost to the Saints. I think they've been on a winning streak though. Right?
They lost to the Saints. They lost to the Rams.
Oh yes, that's right. The
Rams. They definitely, especially with these key players that they keep getting, they're definitely front runners for the NFC without a doubt. I can't even. Oh, don't even. I know you probably got the hot take on Odell Beckham Jr. right now. No.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it up.
You want it?
Yeah, let's do it up.
All right, everybody. Here's Charles. Hot take.
Listen. Odell Beckham Jr., great player. If not one of the best receivers in the game right now. But what I am concerned about is why he left Cleveland. Because now you're jumping into a situation. You got Cooper Kupp. You got Woods. Your main concern when you were with Cleveland wasn't getting the ball. Matthew Stafford has almost a full season with those two receivers. So you would think he's going to feel comfortable giving them the ball. Matthew Stafford is arguably in the MVP conversation right now. So you would think that, Odell coming in and actually thinking about who he wants to sign with, I honestly thought, and that's not because I'm obviously a New England Patriots fan, but I just felt like that situation would have been perfect for him because you're going to get the ball. The Patriots don't have a 1 or 2 receiver already intact. And I get it. Odell, you want to go to LA. The brights are brighter. The weather's obviously better. The Rams are obviously a top team in the NFC. So you want to join that squad. I just feel like when it comes to like football, when you have a stacked team like this, typically it doesn't work. If this was a different type of sport, 9 times out of 10, your talent's going to get you to win. But if you think about it, yeah, last year, you can look at the Bucks. Yeah, they had a stacked team, but like honestly, they worked well together. They understood who they were. They didn't have anybody complaining or getting in that type of having that type of energy where it's all about me. Look what Brady did with Antonio Brown. He had to calm him down, and Antonio Brown became who he reintroduced himself to the NFL and became who he is now, which is still one of the best receivers in the game. So I get it, Odell. You're actually ring chasing, which is fine.
He said it. I want to go to a playoff contention team. I want to go to a team that's almost guaranteed to be in the playoffs. I'm sorry to take away from your hot take. I just wanted to add
No. It's true though, and again, rightfully so, Odell. Rightfully so. But me personally, I'm not gonna. I don't think this is gonna work. I think this is actually gonna interrupt what the Rams got right now. Because yes, can Sean McVay cook something up? He's one of the best coaches in the league. Yes, of course. And having Odell in any type of team will work. I would love to have seen him in New England or maybe a Kansas City. But I just feel like this LA team already has great players on both ends. But again, I get it. And you never know what can happen. But listen, the moment Odell looks at the stat sheet one game, it says 2 catches for 8 yards. Man, it's going to be a problem, man. I just feel like hopefully Odell understands that. And I believe in him. I'm a big fan of Odell. I'm glad he's just playing and he's on the team. And we'll see what happens. But right now, I don't think this is going to work. I think this was a bad choice from Odell. And I'm hoping he proves me wrong because I really enjoy watching him play football. And again, he's on a stacked team. But like, man, let's see how it goes because Odell, you being an athlete, you being a superstar in your own movie, you want to be that guy. So now, obviously, if Cooper Kupp gets injured or Woods gets injured, then you have more of an opportunity. But, we'll see how it goes, man. But I'm not a fan of the signing. I'm curious, but I'm not a fan right now.
I mean, I see your point. I see your side. I just think I want to go back to where Baker Mayfield came out and tweeted he's going to put his pride aside. I know Odell Beckham, he's arrogant prick, of course, whatever. He's known for that. He's known to be that guy. But he's been in the league. He's a seasoned veteran in that league. To have him go out, pretty much beg for his release. He wasn't meshing well with Baker. Completely guaranteed. Why else would Baker Mayfield come out and tweet out saying, I'm going to put my pride aside and, I'll put my ego aside and we can work together. Because he knows that he's still that very good caliber wide receiver that he can be. And there were some questionable throws, some questionable possible catches. I mean, he's not the same as he used to be back, when he was playing with the Giants.
Eli Manning.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe I think this is a good fit for him. I'm torn between
looks
both
good
sides.
on paper.
It does. It definitely does. I like him going out to the Rams. It gives him it's at this point it's going to be eye-opening. You're going to see the reason why he wanted his release, because it's either going to go one or two ways. It's going to go, he's going to ball out or he's going to fall out. Those are the only two things that I see coming from this.
And there's a lot of pressure.
And it is a lot of pressure. And it's all going to come back to, if he starts balling out in LA, fuck the Browns.
Right, exactly. But I feel like in New England, there wasn't that much pressure because nobody's picking New England. I just feel like this would have been an opportunity for Odell to obviously reclaim who he is as a number one instead of, but again, this could be a good thing. Maybe he's put his pride aside. He's learned from Cleveland. He's learned from New York. Now he's understanding that, listen, he wants to win. And I think that's ultimately what all athletes want. They want to win the big game. And, if Odell has the right mindset, they're the favorites to win it all. If not, this thing can crumble and Tom Brady's winning number 9. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Or number 8. Sorry, number 8.
Well, we counted Brady out midseason last year, and then they went through that 4-week, stretch or 5-week stretch towards the middle to end of the season, and they just sucked. And then all of a sudden they came out of nowhere. You could see that again, but at this point, we'll see what happens to the Bucs when they come out of this bye week. But anyways, heading back to last week, the Ravens beat the Vikings overtime. The Browns beat the Bengals. It was kind of, I don't know. That was maybe Odell Beckham had something to do not being there.
Maybe. I'm looking to see what their game is in New England. When they play here, this is a big game, and I think yes, you want that energy after you lose a guy and just play together. And that was a surprising win because I thought the Bengals were going to come out of that. But I think the 41 to 16?
41-16.
Like man, and Baker Mayfield played really well. The defense played well. But these are the games like you're going against Bill Belichick. Let's see what you do, Baker.
Oh,
let's see what you do. It's a big game, man. So but yeah, that was a good game. That was a good game from the Browns.
And I mean, even hopping over to the 6 to 9, 9 to 6, 6 to 9. Like you're the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen was throwing interceptions to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was getting sacked by Josh Allen. Josh Allen was getting tackled by Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like I was losing my mind that whole entire game. I don't know about you, but to think that at the time 1-6 Jaguars. Absolutely. Well, I wouldn't call it. I mean, it would be a spanking. Yes. They spanked the Bills, believe it or not. I don't care if it was a 3-point spanking. 3-point spanking to the number 1 team in the AFC East is still a 3-point spanking. I don't even know where to go with that. And then another semi decent upset where the Giants upsetting the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Aaron Rodgers-less Packers lost to the Chiefs. That was obvious.
Man, they had my guy Jordan Love's family all the way in the freaking balcony. Put him, come on, his first start. You don't do that. But come on, man. I get it though. But they played. It was a defensive game, and the Chiefs. A surprising stat. Chiefs are 4-0 against the NFC. I just realized that they are 4-0,
and they have a. I don't even. The Chiefs, I still don't know what to think of them.
Me either.
I really don't. I really don't. And they go to Vegas. They travel to Vegas this week. I still don't know which team I want to pick because the Raiders just lost. The Chiefs just beat the Aaron Rodgers. They barely beat the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers. I don't know which way I'm going to lean on that side, but looking forward to this week, what are the Bills going to do?
They need a win. If you lose against the Jets, listen, I'm hoping obviously because New England's right there, but again, I'm worried about New England with this Cleveland game. But if the Bills are going to win, they're probably going to spank them by 40. But if the Bills even win by just a little bit, just how they beat Jaguars, I'm so confident in the Patriots. getting that number one in the AFC because of the fact that the Patriots are playing so well. But the Bills, you need to win this game. This is a bigger game, I feel like, for the Bills than the Patriots, because the Patriots are just playing like they're just playing like they ain't got nothing to lose. If you think about it, they're really just playing how they play, and they're striving at the right time. The Bills, I think I felt like this all season with them. They've gotten big headed. Josh Allen is feeling himself. He got that big payday. Stephon Diggs is obviously amazing, and they have the talent to be the best team in the NFL. But I don't know, man. Josh Allen with that inconsistent play. That's why I don't feel like they're gonna go far in the playoffs just off of that.
Every team has an off week. Every team. Come on.
You love this Bills team.
Every team has an off. I mean, lose to Jacksonville. I don't know if I want to go ahead and say
That's a tough loss.
But to come back and play in the Meadowlands in New Jersey.
You can't lose to them.
Especially New Jersey.
Yeah, I know. You can't lose to them. Especially if the Patriots scored 54 points last time they played.
54.
I expect the Bills to drop 70. Come on.
I expected the Bills to drop 70 last week.
So I don't know, man. I that's a big game in itself. How you feel about this Panthers versus Cardinals? I know Cam Newton. We'll talk about that soon, but like, I know he probably won't be playing this week. But like, is this a game where it's the same thing you just said about what's the team you just said about the Browns?
The Jets, the Browns.
When they felt good about Odell leaving, is this Cam's coming, so we're gonna?
I think they already said Cam Newton is not going to be a backup.
Well, they didn't pay him like a backup.
I think no, they didn't. What was it? $4.5 million guaranteed with $1.5 million roster bonus.
That's a starter.
What, more than he was getting over here?
Yeah.
No, but I think Sam Darnold started the season so well. So well. And I thought he was going to be at least a top 10 quarterback in the league.
I agree.
And then I guess, I mean, I don't want to use the Kyle Van Noy and boogeyman bullshit that he brought out of Miami. He brought on New England to Miami, brought it back to New England. I don't want to bring that, but there's something up with him. There really is. And the fact that you go from not only scoring your own two rushing touchdowns a game to barely even being able to compete right now. I don't know. I don't think he's. I mean, the writing's already on the wall. Sam Darnold is going to be the backup. Cam Newton was pretty much already guaranteed a starting job. Yeah. So from there, this is his. I want to call it. This is Sam Darnold's highlight reel game to go up against the 8-1 Cardinals. And I think if he wants to get another job elsewhere and get released by Carolina, Seattle's looking for a new quarterback. And let's be honest, the Dolphins are looking for another quarterback because Jacoby Brissett is not doing anything right now. The game right now is tied 3-3. I mean, Lamar Jackson and Jacoby Brissett aren't doing anything.
Right.
It's two pretty good defenses stacked up against each other, believe it or not. Yeah. But Tua, I think. Oh, hold on. I got. This is it. Okay, this is my hot take. Okay, Alabama quarterbacks, part 39. Okay, Alabama quarterbacks. They do not impress me. I don't care what numbers Mac Jones is putting up. I don't care if you still
Mac Jones.
If you still want to call Jordan Love a Alabama quarterback, and even Jalen Hurts, okay? If you want to call it, I don't trust Alabama quarterbacks. I hate Alabama. I hate the Roll Tide, okay? I like you, Charles, but I don't like the fact that you're a Roll Tide fan. I don't like it.
You have to say Roll Tide.
Nope. I will not. I will never. I will. Actually, I think I've been caught on camera saying it.
Come over to the side, brother. Come on to the side.
Absolutely not. Fraudulent fucking team still taking over the number 2 spot in the college football playoff. That's
Let's
bullshit. We'll get on to that on the other
go.
side. Anyways, Miami needs to get rid of Tua. They needed to get rid of Tua last year.
Yeah.
Let Ryan Fitzpatrick start. Hey, he got his start out in Washington. Of course he got injured. He's fucking 100 years old.
Right.
You brought Jacoby Brissett in. You released Malcolm Perry. You could have at least kept Malcolm Perry to at least be somewhat of a backup quarterback. But you got rid of Fitzpatrick. You got rid of Malcolm Perry. You kept Jacoby Brissett. And now Tua got a boo-boo on his finger. You got boo-boo. You got boo-boo. I can't throw a ball. Oh, he's a lefty. I can't throw a ball left-handed. I got boo-boo on my hand. Dude, this guy, I'm sorry. College quarterbacks from Alabama do not relate to the NFL, with a minor exception, very minor exception to Mac Jones.
What if he goes to the AFC Championship?
Not gonna happen.
What if he goes to the AFC Championship?
Not gonna happen. Are we talking Mac Jones or Tua? Talking Mac Jones or Tua?
Mac Jones.
Not gonna happen.
I'm just saying, what if?
Not gonna happen.
Can we play what ifs?
No, not gonna happen. We'll play not gonna happen.
Come on, Mac Jones. You know what, Mac?
Hey,
Mac Jones, let's do this.
It might not happen this season. Absolutely not.
He's winning a Super Bowl in his career. He's winning a Super Bowl. Dan, what has the AFC proven to you this year?
Honestly, last week, nothing.
A whole season. Everybody's been in and out. Like, I just feel like
I don't know. Maybe some of these AFC teams are seeing some real potential in college right now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's true. That's true.
But then they squeak by and actually beat some good teams.
Yeah,
I don't know. True. I don't think anybody's tanking right now, but I do believe it's time to go and move forward from Tua.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
He's been injury prone since Alabama.
Can't trust him.
And you wouldn't have seen Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
You wouldn't have seen him if he didn't get hurt 3 years ago. 3 years ago. You wouldn't have seen him. But I do believe the Dolphins chose the wrong quarterback in the draft. Anyways, that's my Alabama quarterbacks ain't doing shit for me take this week. All right. Are we on to Cincinnati?
Well, to Cincinnati.
Anyways.
I mean, they yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Look, it's just another crap week, but anything can happen.
Anything can happen, man.
My main concern is the Chiefs and the Raiders. The Chiefs barely beat an Aaron Rodgers-less Packers team. Are they going to come out and beat this Raiders team who's actually playing well?
Is it in Las Vegas?
It's in Vegas.
Ooh. And that's they're actually fighting for the first place. That's the first place game, right? Their division
for Vegas.
I believe so. No. Chiefs in
the AFC West.
Chiefs, AFC West, yes.
Yes, sir.
No. Oh man,
5-4 versus 5-3. I don't know. I think it might be a three-way tie.
Three-way tie. Who's third?
Because the Chargers. The Chargers 5-3 also.
Oh, that's true.
But the Broncos are 5-5. I think they're all like the AFC West is just a stacked conference. It's a stacked division. I don't know. That AFC West is anybody's for the taking. You know, you play bad 1 week, you're screwed.
Oh, you're done. You're screwed.
And these division matchups are very key. Games. These are key, and you need to win them. And I'm not too high on this Kansas City team.
Yeah,
I'm not as high. I mean, I know you were riding them in the offseason.
My homeboy coming into this season. You gotta ride my homeboy. Pause.
No.
Yeah, but I feel like You know what I feel like? If the Chiefs couldn't score on a bad, even though the Packers lately have been playing good defense, but like you still should have been able to score a lot more points than you did with just 13. And now you mean to tell me what? How am I supposed to trust you, Chiefs, if to score on this Raiders defense that they've been okay, same, as well. So I don't know who to pick that game. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs just off of their experience and my homeboy, but Derek Carr's nothing to play with. He's a beast too, and they got something to fight too. They just lost one of their best receivers. And we talked about that last week. Unfortunately, with him, getting in trouble. But we'll see, man. Las Vegas is gonna be rocking. That building's gonna be exploding, and we'll see how it goes, man. I can't necessarily say I'm gonna pick the Chiefs, but I'm edging that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm edging that way.
You are?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, because my homeboy, man. My homeboy is he's really good, man. They're starting to figure it out a little bit. So.
Are they starting to figure it out, or are they kind of, I don't know. It's tough to put a actual, finger on them because they're hot, they're cold, they're mediocre, they're cold again, they're hot again. It's like,
yeah, we'll see. But they could mess around and get back to the Super Bowl though.
They could. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Vikings Chargers. I think the Vikings are gonna catch a loss.
Oh yeah, is it at LA?
It's in LA.
Yeah, that's a loss.
And I mean, other than that, Aaron Rodgers comes back on Saturday, I believe.
Oh, so he's coming back. Okay,
he should be ready to play going into Sunday. I'm not 100% sure if he will play. He still has to pass 2 consecutive COVID tests. And probably give some of his money back to ownership. They got hit with they didn't get hit with a major fine. They could afford it. But he didn't get dropped by State Farm, so they did stand by their motto, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
That's crazy, man. I just can't imagine if it was somebody else that did this. They would have been. Imagine Kyrie did that in the NBA.
But Kyrie's been open about not getting back.
Yeah, that's true.
So the thing that really irked everybody was the fact that Aaron Rodgers said, "I've been immunized. So yeah." And then he's like best friends with some medical corporation out in Wisconsin or something. Now they dropped ties with them. I don't know. I think he's drinking some of the wrong number 12 juice, if you know what I'm saying.
I think so too. Oh,
he's part of that I don't know, Scientology or something. Isn't he? I don't know. Is he?
I don't know.
I don't want to get too into that.
No. But if he comes back, they're playing against the Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson's coming back as well. So I
think he did practice. So that could be good. You can't really survive with Geno Smith any longer.
Man, get him out of here. I do like just before we switch it over, I just want to hit on that Patriots and Browns game. It's a big game for both teams, especially in the playoff race. I'm so happy it's in New England because it just gives me some confidence. But if Mac Jones, that defense with Cleveland, they are nothing to play with either. So Mac Jones does have his hands full.
I'm so happy you just used that term. Mac Jones does like to have his hands full. He likes to grab people by the ankles and almost break them.
God. So now what was the guy's name? He already put a hit out on Mac Jones. So hopefully nothing happens because I do not want to see Stidman or whoever, Brian Hoyer at the helm. But
I think that's the reason why they reactivated. Jarrett Stidham came off the PUP list and he just got added to the 53.
Oh my gosh, that was suck. So I think and it's no Nick Chubb for Cleveland or Kareem Hunt. I know Nick Chubb is with COVID and I think Kareem Hunt's just injured, but we kind of lucked out on that because that's a 1-2 punch for Cleveland that we will probably have problems with. So we'll see how it goes, man. It's gonna have to be in Baker's hands, which I'm happy about, and he's gonna have to show us what he's made of, because New England's been playing great defense and been okay offensively. I do wish they score more, but they try to play mistake-free football. So it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna come down to the last possession, I think, and we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, that's another thing. Jadeveon Clowney is questionable, and I mean, he's still a beast.
Yeah,
that's one thing you need to be kind of concerned about. Jarvis Landry's questionable.
Number 95, man, we gotta watch out for him. Myles Garrett, man, we gotta really watch out for that guy.
He's also questionable.
Oh, he's banged up too.
He's questionable. I mean, it's also Thursday. They got one more day of practice. They got to come out with their final injury report. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game. I think I'm going to have to side with you. When it comes to picking the Pats over the Browns, and that's at this point it's unbiased. Okay, unbiased.
Right.
I mean. Yes, I'm rocking my Flying Elvis Terry Glenn jersey over there, but it's unbiased for me. Anything Patriots related for me from this season is completely unbiased. I've sold on the Patriots. Yes, I still watch them on Sunday, but I can't. They need to show me more. They need to show me more.
They need to show more.
That's what it comes down to, and they're beating up on these crappy teams and.
The biggest one was the Chargers.
Yeah. And I mean, had a terrible game.
Terrible game. Yeah.
Terrible game.
Yeah, terrible game.
Terrible game. Without a doubt.
He made it up last week, though.
Yeah, he did, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he kind of needed that bye week, but at the end of the day, that didn't really help him.
Right.
But I don't know. That's pretty much. Those are pretty much the games that I like on this.
These games have been boring, man.
They really have. They have. And I mean, even if you want to talk Saints, Titans.
Titans are gonna. They had a big win.
Adrian Peterson trying to fill some big shoes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know what the stat was, but I think it was a huge accomplishment for AP when he scored a touchdown. I forget how much it was in total touchdowns he has now.
I think he's number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
I think he's number 3 now on the all-time touchdown leaders. But I think it's funny. I think I was watching the NFL Network, and they said he was getting ready to board a plane or getting ready to do something. Then he found out that he was going to try out or go to look at another team. Yeah. The Titans called him, and he dropped everything.
Oh,
he went to go fly out to Tennessee.
I'm still surprised he's still playing, man.
He's old.
He's old, man. Yeah.
But that's, I mean, the Titans, man. The Saints just, I don't know. They're still not impressing me. I mean,
for some reason, they're still there. They're still hanging on.
They are, and they're always. I mean, you always have to pick the Saints when they play the Bucs. So that's why, because they have just dominated the Bucs, and that kind of goes like, okay, the Patriots have always beat the Jets, pretty much 9 times out of 10. They're going to beat the Jets, and by that, you're going to pick the Pats. But at the same time, it's the Saints, and they just lost to Atlanta. So they might have a pretty big bounce back game. But it's
watch out for Atlanta too. Atlanta's creeping up. They're 4-5. They're starting to, I don't know, man.
I think they're gonna beat the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I think they're gonna beat the Cowboys because I don't know if there's something in the water in Atlanta. There's definitely something in the Wi-Fi.
I told you, Matt Ryan, man. Matt Ryan,
you can't count him out. You can't count that BC kid out.
Yeah.
But I think the Falcons are going to beat the Cowboys, and I do think that the Titans are going to beat the Saints.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you.
Because, I mean, yeah, they do lose Derrick Henry, but they got 2 decent running backs to fill his shoes. Ryan Tannehill's pretty much doing what he does best. But it all comes down to the Saints defense. They just picked apart Brady and the Bucs, and they kept it close against Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's nothing else there for me. I got nothing else on the NFL this week. It's just meh. You're getting into that part of the season where it's just
waiting for playoffs.
Teams have already separated, and you know what teams are gonna perform and which teams are making the playoffs. So it's kind of like,
come on, Pats, get this big win. This is a big win. I think we're in the wild card right now. I need us to get to that Bills, chase the Bills. Bills are they're playing against the Jets. So lucky. So we'll see how it goes, though. They could lose, so we'll see how it goes.
Could. I don't know. You wanna hit a break, or you want to?
Let's hit a break.
All right. We'll come right back to some college football.
Big surprise.
Playoff rankings, which I'm kind of still upset about, but we'll be right back. Yeah, so, I mean, I think that the college football playoff rankings are kind of upsetting in a sort of sense to see compared to the AP top 25 and compare that to the actual college football playoff rankings. Now, I know the college football playoffs are owned by ESPN. ESPN puts out their own rankings. Obviously, they want to see X players and X teams make the playoffs.
I hate that.
Obviously, Alabama's going to get in because let's be honest, if Alabama's not going to be in it, you're going to lose a pretty hefty viewership. But at the same time, I'm so sick of seeing Alabama. So sick of seeing Alabama.
Scared the shit out of me last week.
Listen, LSU had the chance to win that game. They had the chance to win that game, but they could not do it. They couldn't close it out.
You know what scares me? That Bryce, he negative 22 rushing yards. and and that's what scares me. I think the LSU showed, the teams that are coming up that are going to play Alabama, listen, put a lot of pressure on them. I'm reading the stats here. He had throwing wise, though, he had a good game, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns. My guy, Jameis Williams, man, big game, in the receiving end, 10 receptions, 160 yards. I just feel like the LSU showed a lot on Saturday. And, Alabama, man, they've been scaring me, man. I feel like their focus level, I think it was you and our guy Reese, you guys asked me a question. You both asked me, like, if I'm worried about Alabama and do I trust their defense? Man, I trust them, but like overall, I just feel like I'm not really impressed on how they're approaching these games. I feel like they're approaching these games like, listen, we're Alabama. We could do whatever we want on this field. We have the best coach of all time in their college football history. But, we're not really taking certain teams seriously. Was it 20-14? Come on, man. Or 26?
No, I think it was
2014.
lower than that. Yeah.
20-14, where usually Alabama, this particular game here, you should be blowing them out. So
especially
I don't
this
know,
LSU
man.
team.
Oh my gosh, I was watching some of the game. Excuse me, some of the game, and I'm watching Alabama and how they come into the line, and it's slow. And on the defensive side, they're not really. I don't know, man. They're just not really trying that much. And LSU really wanted to win this game. And I think it was a bigger win for – I call this a win for LSU just off the score because LSU was – you could see it in the game if you watched it. They were playing like they were like, damn, it's Alabama we're playing against.
It's definitely a bigger win for LSU because your head coach is gone after the end of the season.
Exactly.
And your season is practically over.
Yeah.
Now – with that being said, you beat an unranked LSU is unranked, correct?
Yes,
they were unranked.
They were unranked, yeah.
You beat an unranked LSU team by 6 points. 6 points, and the fact that you went from 3 to 2. They stayed at number 2.
They're number
based
2
off
still.
of that game, and that's why I think because the college football playoff is picked by ESPN, I think that has a lot to do with that. Because there are undefeated teams that should be in the top 5,
Oklahoma,
but there aren't. Oklahoma, especially
Cincinnati.
with their whole entire Oklahoma with starting the season out with Heisman candidate, Heisman front runner Spencer Rattler, and then he just up and leaves.
Yeah,
they're still undefeated. I put out. I don't know if you saw it. I put out my predictions for where each team should rank.
Okay.
Before the Tuesday night, they dropped their college football playoff rankings. I had number 1, Georgia, Alabama, Oregon. 3 in a row I got right. Then I had Cincinnati, and then I had Ohio State. They were flip-flopped. And then I had Michigan State.
They just pulled
Michigan. I had Michigan State 6, Michigan 7. Then I said, okay, people are going to be really pissed off at college football playoffs and their rankings if they go ahead and rank Michigan State higher than Michigan. Of course, that was flip-flopped. And then I had Notre Dame and Oklahoma for 8-9, and then 10 Oklahoma State. I was right on Oklahoma State, and then it flip-flopped on Oklahoma Notre Dame.
It did, yeah.
I think. I mean, I was pretty close, outside of the top 4, outside of the top 3, whatever.
Top 3, yeah.
But other than that, it was pretty much flip-flopped, and that's the rest of that's coming from an unbiased view where I'm an Oregon fan, obviously, but at the same time, Oregon, they struggled against Washington, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but they've always struggled against Washington. The strength of schedule. Now you have Alabama, who plays a bunch of nobodies the rest of the season until they get to once again a fraudulent Auburn team. And Ohio State. State. They play Michigan and Michigan State to wrap up their season. They have a tough schedule. But the thing that annoys me is you have the Cincinnati team. Granted, they're outside of the Power 5 conferences, and they're still ranked 5th. They're undefeated.
They should bump Ohio State, honestly.
They should, and trust me, they're going to within the next couple of weeks with Michigan State.
Oh yeah,
and
they're losing one of those games.
If they're going to lose one of them, that is without a doubt. But at the same time, they might hear me out. They might go ahead and get bumped further up if they do beat one of those two, because they're going to claim strength of schedule.
That's true. That's very true.
And that's one thing that really annoys me.
Are you saying so? I'm trying to get a gist of what you're saying. Are you saying the way the rankings should be is off of their performance? Like, say you're saying if since Alabama, for example, even though I don't know if this doesn't make sense, but like you're saying since Alabama only won by 6, you think they should be moved down just off of their performance of losing.
They shouldn't,
I mean,
and they
shouldn't.
They shouldn't even be that high in the first place, losing to an unranked A&M team.
They need to get humbled. I do agree with you guys. I agree that, and when I say you guys, I'm talking about you and Reese because you guys have been pounding me about Alabama being trash. But but it's true though. I think the whole season, if you think about it, it took me a while to understand that Alabama, man. I think, man, you play off of how your coach goes. Now I'm pretty sure Nick Saban approaches every game the same way, but like, we should be questioning him. How is he getting his guys ready? You know what I'm saying? Is he getting these guys to the point where he's like, oh, we'll play LSU. Let me take this week off and let me not give what I usually give. You know what I mean? For example, but all season Alabama hasn't been playing that Alabama way. You know what I'm saying?
And at the same time, I mean, Alabama, that wasn't really a look-ahead spot for them because they played LSU, and then they play New Mexico State this week. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah, I know.
This comes back to my point of strength of schedule should be taken into place. I mean, I'm looking right now. You can get into Bryant-Denny Stadium for as low as $8 to see Alabama play New Mexico State. Which tells you right now, ain't nobody wanting to go see Alabama throw a 65 burger up against New Mexico State.
So
ain't nobody want to see that.
So how do they change this though? Or are they going to continue this?
Well, what's going to happen is the realignment coming in, I think it's 2023, 2025 area with Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC. And then you have the whole entire alliance of the Pac-12, ACC, and Big Ten.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a complete game changer. That's going to pretty much eliminate Power 5 conferences. Or it's just going to bump something like the Cincinnati AAC into a Power 5 category. So I think with that, but that's also a couple of years down the road. We're not going to see any real changes anytime soon. So we're going to be seeing at least Alabama. The next couple of years, without a question. But I think they need to do a lot more out of conference games and really match these out of conference games to be ranked out of conference games. But then again, at the same time, you can't really create a schedule on ranked teams the beginning, 3 months prior to the season, 4 months prior to the season. But you have pretty much the gist of who's going to be a top 25 team the whole entire, like, leading up to the schedule drop, pretty much coming out of that final season, the final game. I think they need to do a lot more research.
Yeah.
As far as out of conference games, who's playing who, because I would love to see Oregon, Ohio State every year. I would love to see.
Yeah.
I would love to see those types of matchups, those big out of conference games every single year. Every single year. I would love to see that, without a doubt.
Or I would like to see, like, this. I'm talking about this particular BC team. I would have loved to see an Alabama travel to BC just to see how that
would never happen though. That would never happen.
I know.
You couldn't. I mean, people would be standing out of Alumni Stadium.
Yeah, that's true. But that would be interesting though.
It would be, but at the same time, that's like Alabama playing New Mexico State this week.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
BC's good, but they're not.
They're not,
that good.
They're not like Wake Forest Wake Forest to me has been. They should be bumped up a little bit more. Like I'm looking at them now.
They just caught a loss to North Carolina, and
that was a big game.
I watched that game, and when North Carolina was down, I think 17, I'm like, oh man. Then I just saw Sam Howell just pound the field. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna come back and win this game.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back and win the game. And what happened? Upset. And that's what I loved about this past weekend. Boise State upset Fresno.
That was shout out Cyrus. Boise State, man.
And P.S. Cyrus should have had a touchdown in that game. They called that back. Absolute bull crap. But their other running back, George Halani, had 120 yards rushing. Unbelievable.
These stats, man.
And I mean, Georgia, like I called it, they're gonna absolutely blow out Missouri.
Yeah,
they did. Alabama, of course, they beat LSU.
Yeah, they lost. I'm gonna call that a loss.
Is Purdue for real?
Man,
could Purdue be for real?
That guy Aiden O'Connell, man.
Because they play Ohio State this week. And let's just say they beat up the number 3 Michigan State.
Yes.
Could they beat up the number 4 Ohio State?
Like if Aiden O'Connell plays the same way he played, throw another 500 yards.
Unbelievable.
What's his name? Demetrius Bell. 11 receptions, 217 yards, a touchdown. Like, listen, these Purdue, again, I was watching the highlights. They dominated that whole game. Like, they controlled everything. You know what I'm saying? Michigan State didn't want no parts of Purdue. And to your question, is Purdue serious? I think they are. And I think if they beat Ohio State this week, all bets are off. I mean, where are they ranked right now? They're number what?
Ohio State's number 4.
No, Purdue. Purdue's okay, 19.
I think, Purdue's up there. I do think that Michigan State was still kind of coming down off that high of beating Michigan.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think they overlooked this game because Michigan State goes right ahead. You know, they lost to Purdue. They go to Maryland, or they play Maryland, and then they go ahead and they play Ohio State. Second to last game of the season.
Yeah.
So I think they overlooked the Purdue game, which they probably shouldn't have.
You can't. You don't have the time to be doing that.
I think they're going to use this Maryland game to go ahead and practice for Ohio State. Because they need to get back into the swing of things. They need to get back into. But then again, you know, I've been high on Michigan State, but at the same time, who have they really played? You know, they played Northwestern. They played a shitty Miami team. Nebraska, which they only won by 3. They played Rutgers. They played Indiana.
You saw what Indiana did.
They played Michigan. I think that they need to somehow turn the table and use this next game as a warm-up because you need to beat Ohio State to get back into contention to be a New Year's 6 team, to go ahead and be in the top 4.
I think with Ohio State, are they trailing your Oregon? They're trailing right there, right behind
Ohio State's number 4. We're number 3.
Oregon's number 3. I think, like you said, man, you're so right. Ohio State in Michigan, man, they need to really level up because, you know, I mean, how you feel about your Oregon Ducks?
Honestly, after watching last week, it was heavy downpour. Downpour. So
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I stepped back a little bit and I was actually just analyzing. I put my fandom down because I knew they were going to win. And I was just sitting there watching. Anthony Brown steps back goes to pass, interception, gets off the field. Huge smile on his face. Bro, you just threw an interception. What are you getting off the field for and smiling at? The one thing that pisses me off, it's either a rush with Anthony Brown or it's a Travis Dye handoff. They know it's coming, but at the same time, they couldn't stop Travis.
They couldn't stop him.
They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him. But I think they need to utilize more key members of their team.
Get Spence more touches, man. What's going on with that?
They had what's that kid's name? McLaughlin. It's gonna bug me, so I'm gonna look it up right now. I think he's a freshman. What's his name?
Get my guy Spencer Webb more touches, man.
It was Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Ferguson. No, but there was a point in that game where I'm looking, and Anthony Brown's running the ball. He gets up outside of the pocket, running towards the sideline. Spence actually was about to block for Anthony Brown to run the ball. And Anthony Brown threw the ball to Spencer Webb. And he looked, and the thing hit him off. It like dinged off his hand, off his helmet. Ball went up in the air, and he tried diving for the ball. But it's like you know what you should be doing with the ball. And if you have your tight end out there about to lay a block for you, run the fucking ball.
Run the ball.
Run the ball. Don't throw it at the back of his head when he's not even looking.
Or at least call his name. Like, hey,
yeah. I don't know. I'm not concerned about Oregon, but just watching that game, yeah, it was heavy rain, but that shouldn't be an issue. I mean, it's Washington. It's gonna be raining in Washington. Right. That's what it does. So you already know.
With AB?
I am a little bit, but second half he turned it up. He kind of turned it up, but at the same time, it was either a rush with himself,
or
it was a handoff, and I don't know. I'm like tripping over my words. Like I don't want to badmouth. I don't want to badmouth my team.
Possibly be coming on our show.
But at the same time, it's like I'm not. There's things that need to be worked on. Washington has always given us problems. Always going to happen. It's just like Oregon State gives us problems. And now my next concern is Utah. That's my next concern. That's my next and only concerning game I have left on Oregon's schedule.
You can't lose to Utah.
No, you shouldn't. But Utah has been playing some good football as of late.
What they 23, ranked 23. Yeah,
they just snuck in. They just snuck in because Fresno just lost to unranked Boise State. They have a bye week this week. Utah. I don't know.
Some big games coming up this weekend, though.
I know they had a bye week last week, I think. Yeah, there are. They're this week. You know, Pittsburgh is controlling this game right now against North Carolina. I think
that's a tough turnaround for North Carolina.
It is. Especially coming off that high. Especially coming off that high. Yeah. I don't know. You know, Oregon plays Washington State. Cincinnati plays South Florida. Your guys play New Mexico State. Michigan plays Penn State. I think Baylor is going to upset Oklahoma. I really do.
Well, coming off of lost to TCU, you feel confident about that?
I mean, it's Oklahoma's coming off a bye week. And I think Baylor needed that loss, if that makes any sense. They're still, what, 12? Ranked number 12?
Number 12.
Or 13. 13. They're ranked
13 now?
They're ranked
Okay.
13. It's not like they got murdered by TCU.
They lost by 2. Yeah.
The TCU Horned Frogs are very underrated. They always have been.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these smaller schools are always underrated. But they've played 2 ranked teams, 3 ranked teams all season. They played Iowa State. They played Oklahoma State and BYU. And they only lost to Oklahoma State out of those ranked matchups. And now they're going to face Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. I like Oklahoma, man. I do. I feel like Baylor should have won against last week.
They should have. It's like I just said. They're not getting the crap kicked out of them. Right. But at the same time, it's this season is just unpredictable. It's crazy. So anything can happen.
Anything, man. Everybody's playing for something more than themselves.
They are, and even looking forward to Auburn, Mississippi State. I think Auburn needs this win.
Fraudulent Auburn.
they need this win. They need this win, and it won't surprise me if Mississippi State beats them. Wisconsin versus Northwestern.
Is Wyoming? They playing Boise this week or no? Is that not Wyoming?
Oklahoma. Wyoming.
Yeah, they're playing Boise.
They're playing Boise State.
So I comment on Braden Smith's IG, and he's told me he said next is Boise State. I would have loved to get him and Cyrus on here. How that would
maybe after maybe we'll get them both on
the following week. Hopefully,
let's see. We'll see if we can get them both on.
I'll keep my eyes on that game, though. I'm pretty sure if they see each other on the field, they'll be like, "Oh, listen, I talked to Dan and Charles.
Charles talked to Braden. I talked to Cyrus."
That's going to be a matchup. That's going to be real intriguing.
It's going to be fun. Like that's. I wouldn't even know which team to root for.
Jesus, what
to be honest with you.
And what do we do when Braden if he tackles Cyrus? Do we go or do we go?
I don't know. Braden's a lot older. He's a lot older. He's what you would call a seasoned veteran in college football.
Yeah.
I mean, the man played with Josh Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. I think that's going to be a good game to watch.
That's going to be a good game,
and it's at
Boise
State.
Ooh.
It's at Boise State.
Let's go on the jet, Dan. Let's go get the jet and head over there.
Are you Ubering the jet? Are you going to order the private jet? Or can we just make paper airplanes big enough?
I know.
Oh man, I don't know where did I leave off? Purdue, Ohio State. Now Purdue's the team that you should be watching out for Ohio State now. But Ohio State is what you would call heavy favorites in this game.
I'm pretty sure Michigan State was a heavy favorite.
21 point favorites, Ohio State. I think Purdue's trending in the right direction. It's in Ohio. Ohio State, the last home loss they had was against Oregon. Before that, I think it was 5-6 years straight without a loss at home. I don't know. This could be their turn. Could be. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
It's Purdue.
Year.
It's Purdue.
Anything.
Watch out for the Boilermakers.
Hey, Aiden O'Connell, throw another 500 piece.
Ooh, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Other than that, Iowa, Minnesota, UTSA, Southern Miss, Michigan State needs to. They need to wail on Maryland.
Michigan better beat Penn State.
Now, 2 games, actually 3 games, if you will. Charles is dying over here. Charles is
a little sick.
You gotta drink your tea. You gotta drink your tea, man. Drink your tea.
Yeah.
Texas A&M versus Ole Miss.
Texas
A&M is starting to really show you that they're a respectable, decent team. Granted, they're 2-loss. They're not going to make the playoff.
No,
unless
rule, man.
Unless the unfortunate happens. But I think A&M is going to respectfully win that game. Next game, Notre Dame, Virginia.
I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia wins that game.
That's where I'm leading.
Notre Dame, they won last week, but I was
it's in Virginia.
Right.
I'm not too sold on Notre Dame still. I'm still not. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that I keep going back to the old it's Notre Dame. Who cares about Notre Dame?
Right.
They lost to you can't even say that they lost to a lower conference team because Notre Dame's technically not in a conference. They lost to Cincinnati back in week 5, 6, 5. They just play nobody. They just play nobody. And like I said last week, they go Virginia, Georgia Tech, Stanford. Out of those 3, they're bound to lose 1 or 2. And I don't care what anybody says, it's Notre Dame.
Right.
And let's be real, it's Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame.
The only reason people go to Notre Dame is because they do get a good draft core, especially on the defensive end of the ball when it comes to NFL draft. But outside of that, I'm not sold on this Notre Dame team. I never have been, never will be. I can't watch Rudy because that movie's so stupid. But then you have the battle in the ACC. Wake Forest just coming off that loss.
Yes.
And NC State. The 16 versus 12. Wake Forest is only 2-point favorites in this game.
Wow.
Rightfully so, because NC State showed real promise at the beginning of the season. And, they lost to Mississippi State and Miami. But they beat Clemson, which at the time was
everybody's beating Clemson.
Yeah, but at the time they were ranked 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that range. They beat BC, obviously.
Yeah.
They beat Louisville, Florida State. And now they play Wake Forest. And then they end their season with Syracuse, North Carolina. I think if the ACC championship were to happen, it's going to be this game. It's going to be this matchup.
I think Wake Forest can pull it off just off of them losing last week. I think they understand. Hopefully, they understand the importance of this week, because if they want to continue to rise up in the rankings, they should be able to. Because what are they again? I'm sorry if I didn't hear you. What's their rankings? What's their ranking? Wake Forest right now?
Wake Forest is number 12.
Number 12, and I think
NC State is 16.
NC State 16. So I think, hey, listen, man, you take a loss. Baylor's right there. You know what I'm saying? If Baylor has a big game coming up this weekend too, so you don't want to take that drop. If you're Wake Forest, because Texas A&M, I don't know if Texas A&M loses, you can move them out of there and keep getting to that top 10. So, I think Wake Forest should be able to win this game. But you never know. NC State, like you said, it's 16, and it's crazy. They can go from 16 to 13, 12, too. So it's just,
and that's the thing. If Alabama loses, they're going to be. If
Alabama losing, that's.
They're not going to lose this week, obviously. But if they lose one more and A&M wins this week, they're going to be tied in the SEC West.
Yeah.
And they're right behind Alabama. And just knowing right now, it's probably going to be Georgia versus either Alabama or A&M in the SEC championship. I'm just sitting here scratching my head because if Alabama takes one more loss,
I don't like how you're throwing this in the universe.
Listen, they play. Listen, after this week, they play Arkansas. Okay, Arkansas has been pretty good.
You want them to lose so bad.
I do. I really do. Arkansas plays LSU this week. Okay, then they play Alabama, and then they play Missouri. Okay, they're bound to win 2 out of those 3. And the 2 are going to be Missouri, and it's going to be a toss-up between Alabama and LSU.
But doesn't it worry you that they can play their worst game, in which I consider one of their worst games of the season last week against LSU, and still win? Listen, Dan, we want the smoke with Georgia. They're going to get it because once they play them, I'm going to call you and Reese and just look at y'all and tell you guys, listen, I try to tell you that, listen, yes, Alabama, they haven't really impressed anybody this season. But listen, man, it's still Alabama. You can throw all this loss if they lose here and there to that energy. Keep it right. I haven't heard you for the past few weeks talk about your Oregon Ducks.
Listen.
I haven't heard you talk about your Oregon Ducks, right?
Okay. I try to come on here and not portray a bias towards my teams because all right, I'm going to say this, okay? Should I whisper? Should I whisper it to you? All right.
Go ahead.
I'm not 100% sold on my Oregon Ducks.
There you go. There you go.
At least I can admit it. You know?
There you go.
At least I can admit it. They have 3 more games, okay? 3 more games. They have Utah, Washington State. Not in this order. In this order, they have Washington State, then they have Utah, then Oregon State.
Don't lose.
It's concerning especially watching that last game.
They battled some injuries this season too.
They have. They played 3 weeks without Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah. And
they lost CJ Verdell, their top running back.
Yeah.
They've just been, I think Noah Sewell went down. I think Mace Funa took an injury. But, you look at that defensive backfield set, and you just know that you're taken care of. There are teams that always give teams trouble.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's moving forward, especially seeing what Utah did last week. That right there is a concerning game for me.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to be a concerning game for me until kickoff, probably until halftime. But halftime comes and, they play like they played against Washington. They're going to come out because Cristobal is going to pump them up. Coach Feld's going to be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Get out there, do some push-ups.
Let's play. And hopefully AB should play mistake-free football this week. No turnovers. Keep the game in control and just play the way you can play because he's a dominant player. So he just get back to doing the right things. And I'm pretty sure we have faith in him. So hopefully he can show that. But ultimately, like you said, man, they've been dealing with so much adversity this season. Even though their record, you would say their record doesn't show, but especially with you watching them faithfully, it's like you understand who they can be, and they haven't been that. I can say anything with Alabama, like they just haven't played who they have because all these other teams have been surprising other teams, and they've been the more, like if with Georgia, like y'all been saying, Georgia's gonna mess up at some point, but
they're gonna choke like they always do. They always do.
Yeah.
And it's inevitable. And when the time comes, I'm just going to sit there and be like, I'm going to eat a bowl of I don't know. I think I still have some Count Chocula left. You know, Count Chocula. Yeah,
classic, man.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
I thought you look like a fruit, not fruit roll.
A fruit? I look like
Loop.
a
Fruit Loops. Fruit
Nah.
Loops. Fruit Loops.
No. Halloween comes, I get those Frankenberries, Blueberries, and the Count Chocula boxes.
Ooh.
And let's just say
I figure you like Cookie Crisp. You're a Cookie Crisp guy.
I think I've only had Cookie Crisps once.
Okay.
Peanut butter crunch. The Reese's peanut butter cereal. Oof. That was my go-to. I used to get a huge mixing bowl when I was a kid. Biggest spoon I could find. I'd eat the whole entire box in one sitting.
Damn.
that explains why I am the weight that I am. Yeah, let's talk about food. All right.
Yeah. No, man, but I'm excited for this up and coming week. Finally, I feel like the past few weeks we've been looking at these schedules. We're like, we'll pick certain games here and there.
And that's the thing. It's you're not getting much out of college football because there's only 3 games left, and then you have conference championship games, and then playoffs are here. So it's pretty much everything's already closed,
set in stone. Yeah.
And I wouldn't. I mean, Alabama loses one more, especially if they losing that SEC championship game.
So if we win the national championship, what do you
not gonna
say?
happen? Not gonna
I'm being serious.
Nope, not gonna happen.
What? National champions is you might as well just crown them, man. You know what's coming.
Not gonna happen with this team this year.
Oh man,
sorry.
Come on, Bryce Young.
Listen, Clemson did Ohio State a favor last year and let them get exposed in the championship game, which I was kind of happy because ain't nobody want to see another rematch of Alabama-Clemson.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that Alabama completely exposed Notre Dame for the fraudulent team that they are. But this season is just it goes to show you. I think it has a lot to do with the NIL deal.
We said it before the season began.
We said you're going to see teams come out hungrier. You're going to see players come out hungrier, and you're going to see players fall. Spencer Rattler picked out how many sponsorships?
Man,
Derek King picked up how many sponsorships? I mean, he got injured, but that's a different story. But he didn't even look good that first game. They played Alabama.
And the 2022 national champions, Alabama Roll Tide, Nick Saban. You should have just retired after this, Nick Saban. Just chill. The game's too easy.
I don't think so.
It's too easy.
It's not though.
It's not.
If you lose to an unranked Texas A&M team,
yeah.
I don't know. Anything can happen, and anything pretty much is going to happen. I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Major shout out to T Swole getting her 1,000 career points in college. She scored it this past weekend. Shout out to the BC women's basketball team for getting their first dub. We're still in the works of possibly going to some games, and college basketball in general is starting up, and we're supporting the college athletes that came on the show, and we're excited that college basketball is back. So, uh-oh. Hey, shout out Dom.
Major shout out to Dom Welch.
Major shout out to Dom.
St. Bonaventure waxed Siena 75-47. Siena only put up 17 points second half.
Man,
that was embarrassing.
That was
absolutely embarrassing.
But, man.
Hey, my Dom Welch jersey is coming. Okay. And I messaged him. I said, because I looked at tickets against Northeastern, right behind the Bonnie's bench, probably like 3 rows up. Your tickets are like $15.
Let's do it. Are we going? What's up? What
Hell
are we
yeah.
doing?
Hell
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Let's go ahead. I mean, it's Northeastern.
Yeah.
Those games aren't going to sell out.
They're not going to sell out, right?
No, absolutely not.
Right. Yeah.
And Dom even said, watch out for, I'm going to butcher his name, Osun.
Oh, yes.
Osun.
Yes.
He was Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
In the AAC.
Say he can get it again, right?
Ooh, he said he's going to, I think it was back-to-back, and he's going to go back-to-back.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm going to be high again on this St. Bonaventure team.
Hey,
Bonnie.
They got the swagger. They got the swagger.
Hey, if Cody, if you're watching, I'm going to send you Dom Welch's info.
There you go.
We'll send him an extra little care package.
Yes.
But, hey, college basketball is upon us. NBA is doing its thing. Check out. Do you guys have a name for your show yet?
Man, we haven't had a name yet, but again, yes, every Monday night, 8 p.m., Erase the Chalk basketball show. We're getting a lot of positive feedback, where we're doing a great job so far. Shout out Reese. Shout out Enough Talk, aka Cody. Shout out him. We're gonna keep this thing going with the basketball talk for sure.
Ooh-wee. And I think we got a couple more things in the works. I'll talk to you a little bit offline.
Yes, sir.
But I don't know. Other than that, do you have anything else, Mr. Charles McRae?
No. It's been a great show, like always, with my brother, and we're gonna keep this going.
All right. I'm not gonna say it, and Charles is probably gonna say it, but Alabama's gonna lose.